There we are. Hey, hey guys, how are you? Anyway, so welcome to my debut stream. I think, at least, hopefully, anyone's here to listen. Anyway, without further ado, I guess best to just introduce myself for now, yeah? Anyway, my name is Villians Hero. Don't forget that. It's not Villains Hero, it's Villians Hero, alright? I'm not a villain. My last name, the last part of my name is right though. I very much think I am a hero. So, short introduction. I'm age 21. My birthday is on August 18th. I'm 70 centimeters. And I can speak the mystical language of Filipino. And English too, so I guess you're into English, I guess. Anyway, I guess a bit more of a background to myself, huh? So, as you can see here, I'm a glorious mage boy with a trench coat on. So, I am a mage, and I do know some magic. Like, if you have any cards with you, chat, I can show you. So, there I am. In the world, so just a bit of context. The world I live in right now, not really what it used to be, you know? It used to be all medieval walls and catapults. But now, like, there's factories and industrialization, you know? But, people still need heroes and adventurers, so I'm very much happy to fill the role in for this new world, eh? Anyway, so let's go to my likes in a minute. There we are. There we are, my likes. Anyway, so, likes. Pizza. I mean, kind of self-explanatory there. Pizza and history, actually. Yeah, I really like history. Well, it's mostly because, I like stories in general, Chad, honestly. Yeah, so history is just kind of like real life lore, so way better. Like, seriously though, if you like the video game stories are pretty good, but the real life just has as much crazy shit happening in it as video games or fantasies or whatever. So yeah, real life history. For example, did you know that in World War One, I suppose, yeah, a bunch of Russians just were gassed, right, right. Then they stood up and they charged against the Germans and they won. It's a bit of historical trivia more than anything, but trust me, there are a lot of good stories in history if you know where to look. Anyway, light, yeah, yeah, obviously. Who really wants to live in the dark, Can't really see anything, and how am I supposed to talk to you guys if I can't see any of you, Yeah, yeah, yeah. Root beer. So, some people like Coke. Some people like Pepsi. Maybe even Fanta, but no, root beer's for me, man. Yeah, I've heard some people say it tastes like, dentist fluid or medicine or whatever, but hey, you like root beer, alright? Just hits right. The sweetness of root beer just hits right, and I won't take any root beer slander, alright? Anyway, memes. I mean, they're the DNA of the soul. Why would you like memes, Video games, obviously. I'm a streamer. Well, what you would call a streamer. Doesn't really, big where I'm from, so not really much of a word here in the industrial heart of the, Lordane. But hey, what can you do? Basketball. Basketball's great. Like, it's just a fast-paced sport, and the narrative is good, and yeah, basketball's good. And lastly, anime. I mean, have you looked at me? Yeah, look, I like anime, pretty cool. Their style is just nothing wrong with other types of animation. Nothing wrong with them. It's just the anime art style, the anime aesthetic and all. It's just hits right, man. I don't know how to call it. Just hits right, into more detail in video games and anime later. For now, let's go to my dislikes. Things I would rather not have in this world, yeah? Anyway, stuff that I would not rather have in this world, or in any world for that matter. Firstly, seafood. I know seafood is big for like a lot of people. It's just a little slimy, you know? Slimy and scaly. The meat isn't even that good. And then on the fish, there's a lot of bones. It's just a hassle to eat. I don't like seafood. All right, maybe there are a few dishes done by the people who know what they're doing can be all right, but for the most part, no, just please keep the seafood away from me. I'd rather have a steak or anything else, or a burger. Yeah. Anyway, heights. I know that heights themselves that make me, all woozy chat. It's mostly but whenever I'm up high, I always feel like I'm going to fall. So, just makes me feel loopy and dizzy whenever I'm up too high up in the air or whatever. Just unpleasant feeling all around. Toxicity, of course. Now, drink enough poison, you'll die. Of course, I don't like toxicity. Hey, documents. Now, a lot more clarification with this. I like reading books or manga or whatever, right? But documents, like technical documents, you know what I'm saying? Like technical documents, you just how do I put this? Your technical documents. Yeah, they're just kind of unimaginative. They're not supposed to be, but damn, when you're forced to read through them, it's just a slog, guys. I don't know what else to say. Documents are just a friggin' slog. Anyway, moving on. Anime portion, yay! So. Animes I like. So I guess I can talk about them all briefly, I suppose. Anyway, and firstly, Jobless Reincarnation. Yeah, honestly, I don't watch many isekai. Just never really, been too attracted to isekai, but Jobless Reincarnation is good. If you can take away anything from what I'm saying, please watch Jobless Reincarnation. I understand that some of them turn off, like, how Rudius acts towards women is a big one, but it's just genuine character development. You're going through these characters are developing, the world itself that they inhabit is, it's interesting. It's, long story short, I really love Jobless Reincarnation. So, that's the long story short. I really, really love Jobless Reincarnation. Anyway, there we go. Hey, I'm moving again. Hey, let's go. Anyway, number 2. Promised Neverland Season 1. I want to emphasize, I like the Promised Neverland Season 1. Now, I haven't watched Season 2, but from what I've heard, they've basically gutted the source material. I've read the manga. It was good, honestly. A bit slower a bit staggered, the manga was towards the end, but overall, it was still pretty good, I'd say. And personally, Season 1 was great. It was tense. The atmosphere is just, chef's kiss. And I wouldn't have gotten to the rest of Promised Neverland if it weren't for Season 1. Just the tenseness, the atmosphere, the mystery of what's happening around the world to them. It's amazing. Promised Neverland Season 1 is just amazing. Death Note, that's an old classic. I don't think I really need to get much used to it. All I want to say is, my favorite scene is from episode 2, when L deduces from the entire world that light is in this specific part of Japan. That was a pretty big brain move of him. So yeah, don't really think I need to say much else about Death Note. Yeah, don't think I really need to say much about Death Note anymore. So, Cowboy Bebop. No, I've actually just watched Cowboy Bebop like recently. Yeah, Cowboy Bebop. I just watched like a few months ago when the Netflix released the live action. I just thought, eh, I want to watch like the anime version first before I dive into the live action. I never really dove into the live action of Cowboy Bebop though. No. Um, but we are talking about anime, and the anime was pretty good. No, it's an old timey anime, so like there are a bunch of filler episodes and whatnot, right, guys? So initially, I really wouldn't probably be getting in much into Cowboy Bebop, but boy was I wrong. Like, it's just aesthetically, it's good, and it just has a way of just dragging you back in. Like, whatever interest was slipping just drags me straight back in with the music, the action, the animation, the characters. Just really well made anime. Cowboy Bebop is. Yes, it is. Next, Komi-san can communicate. Number one. It's pretty simple, honestly. I think it's an adorable anime, and Komi-san is honestly kind of relatable. Anyway, Devil is a part timer. Just received season 2, which is great. Devil is a part timer. Just comedy, really. Just I put it on. It's fun to watch. Season 2, I haven't like finished through all the episodes released yet, but I will. Just like Devil does a part timer. All right, it just makes me feel happy. Next, Assassination Classroom. There you go. I haven't watched this in years, mind. But really, one of the animes that got me into watching anime is Assassination Classroom. So that has a special place in my heart. Yes, sir. Special place in my Mage Boy heart. Anyway, Arcane. Now, I know what you're thinking. But Villians, or Villains, if you want to pronounce it wrong, Arcane isn't an anime, and maybe it isn't. But it is definitely one of the best pieces of animation I have watched in quite some time. Like, animation style is unique, right? The art style is unique. The animation is solid. The story just grips you, and the soundtrack. Oh, and the opening. Don't get me started on the opening song with Imagine Dragons. So just the Arcane. It's Arcane. Of course, I like it. It's really one of the most beautiful pieces of animation I have seen in years. Just the plot, the characters, the world, just the art style of the animation itself. It's just one of the best I have seen in a really, really, well, not really long time, but in years at the very least, yes. Anyway, let's proceed now to video games. There we go, a lot more packed. I'm more of a video game guy, honestly, as you could probably tell by this long list I am presenting to you right now. Anyway, so let's start off first with the games that I, did lump together because midway through making this, I realized, oh, hey, I don't think every game I want to put in here will fit, so I just began lumping them together around Civilization. But let's start from the beginning, yeah? So, the Elder Scrolls V Skyrim. Skyrim specifically because I, unfortunately, haven't played any of the other not Fallout, Elder Scrolls games. That, yeah, might get me chased out of town with torches and pitchforks, but I am planning to play the other Elder Scrolls games, or specifically Oblivion at some point. But Skyrim, well, Skyrim got me into, Skyrim got me into the Elder Scrolls universe, so, that in itself is worth of some praise, yeah? Other than that, I like it. I like the world that the Elder Scrolls V Skyrim inhabits. Tamriel, that's why I got into, the lore of Tamriel, mainly because of Skyrim itself. And for the game world itself, it's a vast open world game lets you explore around, do a bunch of shit. The main story is mid, honestly. Yeah, the main story is pretty mid for Skyrim, honestly. But, um, what is a button there? uh, like I said already, the world and the Skyrim Civil War had potential, alright? Narrative-wise, the Skyrim Civil War had potential. Don't let nobody tell otherwise, okay? Okay. Anyway, Fallout 3, my very first Fallout game. If Skyrim got me into, the Elder Scrolls series, and Fallout 3 is what introduced me to the lovely world of Fallout. And it may receive a lot of hate from Fallout New Vegas fans or whatever, but it is a good game. Just play it. It might not be New Vegas, which is I'll get to it later, but it is still a really good game. It introduced Fallout to the 3D world, to the mass market that was bought by Bethesda. Just I love the Fallout series. I love the lore of it. Without the Fallout 3, I wouldn't be introduced to it. And if Fallout 3 were good, I wouldn't have stayed. So, yeah, Fallout 3 holds a special place in my heart. Next up, Fallout New Vegas. The best. It's just the best Fallout game there is. Alright, it is my favorite Fallout game. How do I put it? It just expanded upon Fallout 3, right? There's a crafting system, etc., etc. But the writing in Fallout New Vegas is just chef's kiss. Just it's not a post-apocalyptic game. It's a post-apocalyptic game, and it is really interesting to see how civilization recovered in a way. To the point that there is the age of empires and civilizations again, and you're stuck in the middle of this expansive political theater between multiple factions. Fallout New Vegas' writing is just great. The world building is great. It does make you feel a part of the world, and what you're doing is significant to the world. And you are free to choose on the what and how to shape the fate of the Commonwealth. Not the Commonwealth, that's Fallout 4. Of the Mojave Wasteland. There we go. Sorry, tripping up my little words, but you know what I mean, right? Fallout New Vegas, GOAT. Alright? Won't happen any otherwise. Fallout New Vegas is the GOAT. Well, you are free to argue, I guess. Anyway, Fallout 4. Now, because I keep sleeping up and saying Fallout 4. Yeah. Fallout New Vegas was brought up by its writing. Fallout 4 was brought up by its gameplay. The writing in Fallout 4 is meh, honestly. But the gameplay, survival mode is actually pretty good, unlike New Vegas' hardcore mode. The reworked VATS and the perk system, the better FPS shooting, and because of the new perks, the VATS is also reworked for the crits, and it's just... I have my gripes with Fallout 4's writing. I have my gripes with Fallout 4's world building. But the thing I do not have gripes with is Fallout 4's great gameplay. The crafting system requires you to just scavenge through ruins, so there is replayability in exploring the ruins you've already explored for materials that you might have missed. And I already nerded about the gameplay. Yeah, Fallout 4 is just gameplay-wise, I'd say is probably one of the better Fallout games, honestly. So yeah, especially the perk system. The perk system in Fallout 4? Yes. A lot more, customizable, I guess? Well, yeah, from the get-go, because you could select rank 1 of any perk at the start of the game, so, Yeah, it's a pretty good game, gameplay-wise. Disregarding everything else, gameplay-wise, Fallout 4 is fucking amazing, alright? Anyway, next up, Warcraft 3. What introduced me to the Warcraft universe? What introduced me to RTSs and strategy games as a whole? It's just really good. The campaign mode brought iconic characters like Arthas and Thrall. And you know what? The hero system gives the RTS factor a bit more depth, allows you to specialize more and have a special unit, but also the strategy portion is still there. There are still units and unit rosters, attacks and counterattacks, like weaknesses. Yeah, I like Warcraft 3. Warcraft 3 is great. Warcraft 3 is what introduced me to strategy games, and I am a big fan of strategy games, my friend. So yeah, I owe a lot to Warcraft 3. Next up, Civilization 5 and 6. Just kind of lump the Civilization series here together. Yep, Civilization series. It is grand strategy, like throughout the ages strategy, from ancient times when this farming was just invented to having friggin' giant death robots and like space colonies or whatever. Yeah, Civ 6 and Civ 5. That's the game. Also, it introduces civilizations and civilization leaders from across the world, yeah? And based on what their AI is like or what their bonuses are, you can just tell a glimpse of that civilization's history or a part of their history, And just play a Civ game, and every game is a unique game. A unique world with its own unique stories and unique politiques and a lot of ways to go about victory. It's a Civilization series, yeah, pretty good grand strategy game. Probably my favorite, although I have also played and liked Crusader Kings 3, by the way. So if you're more into the details, micro stuff of the family and politics and what devs, yeah, go to, Crusader Kings 3 or the Crusader Kings series, but just the grand aspect of human history throughout human history, well then I suggest the Civilization series. Also, honorable mention to the Total War series. I have played 2 Total War games, Medieval 2 Total War and Empire Total War, both pretty good honestly. And if you're more into like in-depth, like grand battles from history, whatever, yes, I suggest those. No, in the grand strategy sense, of course, this offers only one portion of time, one era, and the grand strategy isn't the main, well, not the most important point, it's the combat. So yeah, so for the Civ games, for their grand encompassing thing of human civilization, not just the combat, but the culture, the sciences, industry, exploration. It's great. Anyway, next up, XCOM Enemy Within and XCOM 2. Yeah, alien invasion, not the. It's just simple story, but the simple story done well. Like, some missions there are genuinely hard. They're not about me to think, but also it's really highly customizable. All right, like you can really make your squad mates look whatever the hell you want them to look like. Yeah. So other than the customization, gameplay is pretty good, honestly. It has that tense atmosphere, especially in the early game. No, even in the late game, honestly. One wrong move and bam, your best guys are dead. And now you're in the late game and like a bunch of rookies. So yeah, not the best time if that happens. No. But it is tense, and it just is. And the soundtrack, specifically like the soundtrack for XCOM 2, when you're about to head off in the mission and about to shoot squad mates. That is a pretty good theme, if I do say so myself. Anyway, next up. Supreme Commander 2. This, don't really remember much about it. Was one of the earlier, RTSs I played. I don't remember much about it, mind. But, it is, from what I remember, a game that childhood loved, and what just expanded upon my love of the strategy game genre, which I am a big fan of the strategy game genre. Yeah, really owe a lot to. Hold on a second. So what is next? Undertale. Yeah. For 2015, 2016, 2017, around those years, I was an Undertale fanatic. I was watching so many Undertale. But on the game itself, yeah, just it's really expensive in a way that, oh, alright, here's some music, okay? Just in case everything was being a little drab without the music. Anyway. Let's see if it is like heard or whatever. Uh-huh. Deltarune, still in development, mind, but from what I've seen so far, yeah, Deltarune has the potential to be something else. The world itself, the character itself is interesting, but the character, again, Toby Fox's character is impeccable. Alright? One of the best I've seen in gaming is how Toby Fox handles the character. Yeah? So, that. Yeah. The gameplay itself, what's the best thing? Well, with a bit more complexity, so you guys know a park system, and magic, and spells, and whatever, yeah? Yeah, it seems like Zelda is shaping up to be the next level of what Toby Fox can do. I get what you want. Really excited to see what Toby Fox has to do. Next, our life begins as always. It's a visual novel. One of the first visual novels I've played. It's pretty good. Going through life, from a 10-year-old kid to like an adult. Just life during the summertime. It's nice. I like the characters. I think they're well written. And really, it's a visual novel, so that kind of has to be. And as for like the aesthetic itself, yeah, artwork's good, music good, everything complements, and yeah, you can choose, who you are, what your identity is, whether to pursue a relationship or not, and I just have to say, like your main partner, I guess, in the game, Cove, pretty damn cute. Although just a cute character, it's just a nice character, I guess. The dynamics you can have is pretty nice. It's just a nice game, alright? I like Our Life Beginnings and Always, okay? Not really much else to say about that. Left 4 Dead 2. Almost a full 180 there. Left 4 Dead 2. How do I put this? It is one of my favorite games of all time. It's just replayable. It's my comfort game, which is odd because I've heard some people now Left 4 Dead 2 is tense, but I have played it. I just play it, when I want something to play to pass the time, or just keep my attention engaged in something. Left 4 Dead 2 is my go-to game. All right, just Left 4 Dead 2 is just brilliant. All right, the special infected are all unique in their own way, and if you're playing versus mode, they have unique. You strike together, you can just deal a lot of damage, especially with synergize with one another. Like the chaos from a boomer leads to like a hunter or a charger, then a spitter, whatever, to add bonus damage. Yeah, and a survivor is just pretty good. Go from one end of the map to another, picking up stuff along the way, and well, it's just really good, really fun gameplay. All right, even with the higher difficulties, I could just have a casually good time. It's just my comfort game. All right, Left 4 Dead 2 is my comfort game. Now, Command and Conquer 3, I like Red Alert and the Tiberium Wars because those are the two I've played. But I suppose the one I've played most recently is the Tiberium Wars one. And yeah, it's been years since I played the Red Alert one. The Tiberium Wars, I'm gonna say the writing may not be hit and miss, but the world itself of Command and Conquer, like the world itself that Command and Conquer inhabit, is pretty damn interesting to me. Like a like civilization on the brink, and Nod is just an interesting faction to me. You know, a bunch of fanatical cultists with a quasi nation state. The leadership of their enigmatic and charismatic leader Kane, and GDI is also interesting to me. You may see they're just a bunch of military guys, but no, they were originally just a small branch of the UN, and eventually they were given more and more power in order to keep the peace until now they're the one world government. Well, most of the world government, not as once again a quasi nation state, so they have their own territories and people too. It's just, yeah, the world itself is pretty interesting. And what else? The gameplay, of course. Yeah, I like the gameplay. Warcraft 3 has like Warcraft 3, StarCraft 2. You know, they have unit limits. No unit limits in Command and Conquer, friend. Build as much as you want. It's less on the micro, more on the macro scale of commanding an army. But. Damn, is that beautiful. Boy, can that be beautiful. Oh yeah, massive battles, give it to me, please. Oh yeah. Command and Conquer 3. Tiberium Wars, more specifically, because that's what I played recently. Yeah, pretty good RTSs. Pretty good RTSs. Anyway, let's go to this one. Tags. So, not really thought much about tags just yet. Subject to be added on tags, if for tags are needed to be added, you know. And subject to change too. You have better idea. So live tag is just vibe, like, you know, vibing, but you know, vibe because Villians. Anyway, I don't know what else to say there. Art tag, heart, like, you know, heart, and also at the same time, you know, hero, H, art, heart, you know? Yeah. Anyway, so, yeah. That about covers it, yes. Now, I suppose I should show you. I could show you like my little room and such while we wait. Hold on a second. Before I end things here on stream, let me just show you a few things, yeah? Anyway. Hold on a second, guys. Trying to show you something. I should just play it instead of humming it, yeah? Ta-da! Haha! You know, just a nice little room here. So before I forget, yeah, model was made by yours truly. This room is a free asset. Yeah. So that was my debut stream. A bit more of a, how do I call it? Scuffed, I guess. Yes. Yeah. But yeah. That's me. Anyway, I'll be continue to be streaming games for you all, chat. But for now, I think I'll be it for today. I suppose before we leave, I could show you my model. Hold on a second. Let me just show you my model in my full glory. Hello? Hello? There we go. Let's try to show it off. There we go. Look at me. Look at me. Woo! A nice little trench coat, you know. The days of wizards with robes and stuff are over, you know. Trench coats are the new hit thing. Alright? I know some people are still trying to cling on to like the whole robe thing, but trust me, trench coats and pants, much more convenient. Like, way more convenient. Alright? Here I am. So, just a tattoo, as you can see here. Oh, no, too zoomed in. There you go. A bunch of markings. I recognize myself as a mage. All mages have markings of some description, yeah? There we go. All mages have markings of some description, so here are mine. Look at me, look at me in all my glory. I don't know what else I'm doing, honestly. So let me just. Boop. You're not supposed to see that. Well, that happened. Yeah. Okay, sincerely though, this has been an experience, alright? So, thank you so much for all your time. And, yeah. Hope to see you again sometime, yeah? Probably planning to stream some Civilization 6 tomorrow. So, please feel free to join me there if you would be so kind. Anyway, that'll be it for me for now. I'm taking my leave. Thank you so much for coming through me through this new adventure. And, yeah. Hope to see you again, alright? Okay. Hope to see you again eventually. Alright. Bye.